Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to another episode of Board Game Adventures at the Tahlequah Public Library. Today, I, John, hi, and two of my co-workers, Jane, say hello.
Hi.
And Julie over across from me.
Hello.
Hello. Will be hosting this episode. We are presenting what we think is a very exciting board game, one of our newer ones addition to our collection, and it's one that is played in the dark. You could say if you have, it was a dark and stormy game night, you could pull this out and play the game. It's pretty exciting. Okay, basically the game is for ages 8 years and up. You can play with 3 to 7 players. The more players you have, the better. What comes with the game is, of course, a set of instructions, and it's very colorful and everything, but I want to explain a little bit what we do in the game. The object of the game, the seeker, is to catch all the little creatures that are hidden amongst these trees and everything on here, recover their mass, freeze the creatures, and try to collect all the mass to win the game. The other side of it is the creatures try to gather, they hide and try to gather in one place all together, and then so that the lantern can't find them, and they win the game. The key is when it's totally dark in here, as you'll see, the creatures cannot move in any sliver of light that the lantern shows, and you'll see as we play. I do want to point out that there is a little arrow on the top that shows the direction of the game. We'll zoom in a bit here to give you some detail, but right now you'll see stones all around this little path, and these are the paths that the lantern travels on. The creatures, we will be hiding those in the shadows when we get started, and the lantern starts, there's these dark red stones on each 4 corners, so the seeker decides which one it wants to start in, and it points in the direction it wishes to go. The die is used for the seeker only. As the seeker rolls, that tells you how many spaces that he moves along the pathway they've chosen. If he rolls 1 on his first roll, he gets an automatically second roll. However, on the second roll, if he rolls another 1, he must take that 1, and then it's the creature's turn. Now, after the lantern actually moves and stops, and if he doesn't capture anything, then the seeker themselves either has to leave the room or close their eyes, turn around while a little bit of light comes on. And to do that, in the total darkness, we're going to use a flashlight to illuminate a little bit so that those people, the players who handle the creatures, can move the creatures around as long as they do not reach any light from the lantern. So then the players can move their creatures all around constantly at their turn within the shadows and try to accumulate and try to gather and win the game. This is going to be an example to show. You have a lantern. As you can see now, there's a lot of shadow around, and these little creatures that we can see now, you can basically see them, are going to be hiding in these shadows. If there's a little bit of light, if you put your hand, hopefully the camera can see my hand reflecting the light as I go back, and you see the shadow, that creature cannot cross there if he wants to move from here to here, but he can stay in the shadows. Okay, so with that being said, let's move into a little detailed shot so you can see what the creatures actually a little bit better detail what they look like, and I'm going to explain what these structures are, these hiding places for the creatures, little trees and things. So let's do that right now. Okay, we're in the little detailed presentation of it. I wanted to zoom in a little closer here to give you an idea. There's the lantern, which is the seeker, and it illuminates, and one player plays that, as we mentioned. And then there are 6 shadowlings. They're a little bitty tiny creatures of different designs, and they have little masks that pop on and off, but you pop those on to start with. Also on the board, as you can see, the pathway is around, that the seeker stays on the pathway to walk around. The little stones that have moss or colored stones, orange stones, are a stone that when the seeker reaches it, when he throws the dice, can go any direction off that stone. So the other stones just indicate the path he has to follow. And every stone counts, no matter what size it is. A little skinny stone like right here, or a larger stone, you still have to count that as a space. There's also a die that's illuminated at night. Also, the game comes with these little neat structures that pull apart. And as you can see detailed, when we set the game up, the little creatures are going to hide in these various trees and corners of theirs out of the light of the lantern. Hope that gives you an idea, a little detailed showing of what parts of the game and what we're dealing with on the board. So let's go back to the full view. Okay, what we're going to do now is set up the game. We can see, now we left the little flashlight on just to illuminate a little more, but the first move of the game is that the seeker, which will be Julie,
Yay.
she will pick which corner she wants to start it, her lantern, and which direction she wants to go. So Julie, go ahead and do that.
So I'm going to put it right here, and my arrow's going face towards the wall.
Now remember, Julie, when you get to those little colored
Mossy
rocks, you can change the direction you want.
Yes.
So if Julie and
You doesn't have to land on it, you just have to get there, and
just
then
have
you
to
can
go,
change
right.
it. Yeah.
So if Julie, as you can see, it's a little illuminate row 3, she goes 1, 2, 3. Now her next move, she can decide to go backwards where she came. She can go this way, or she can keep moving straight ahead along the path. So that's her choice once you reach the moss-covered ones. So now that Julie has picked her side, Jane and I, which represent the creatures, are going to move around. I also want to point out this time is that generally it's a creature per player. Because we are limited here with just 3 players, we have chosen to use all 6 creatures for the 2 of us over here to move around to give the game a little more challenge. We are going to go ahead. Julie is going to turn around and close her eyes. Now, the first thing to start, each little hiding place, each little structure like a tree can only take 1 creature at a time. After that is set up, then you can actually gather around those structures. Okay, we'll put this one. All right.
See if you
Okay,
like
what
where,
do you think?
if you like where everybody is. So
The key here is not to give out any information too much to the seeker. A lot of little secret code comes into play. It's a lot of fun. So here, let's turn off the light now. And now it's Julie's turn to start moving and try to catch the little creatures and steal their mask.
Okay, so I will roll right here, which I got a 5.
Ooh,
So 1, 2, 3. I'm going to go this way.
okay.
4, 5.
All right, now.
So now we can look to see about any that you see. Any that hit the light?
Let's
I don't
see.
see
I don't
so.
see any little creatures getting hit
Okay.
by the light. Okay, so now Julie's made her moves. Now it's our turn. Jane, what do you,
I think you're okay.
okay, you think we're all right? So we'll start there. Now it's important to realize that your little creatures cannot jump over the trees and stuff and enter the light. They've got to stay in the shadows as they're moving.
So now
Okay.
it's her turn again.
Now it's her turn again.
Okay, I can turn around?
Yes.
Okay. I roll 4.
4.
Sorry
Why
about
do you
that.
like
Ooh, and you
Fours, I
might be
guess.
able to see the illumination there.
Okay, so
One,
1, 2.
two.
I'm going to go this way. 3,
Three.
and 4.
Okay, as you see again, she got one of those moss-covered stones, and she changed her direction. So are we ready for the shadowlings to move around?
Okay.
Okay. Good. All right, Jane, go ahead. Now, should we make a strategy of where we want to, the key where we would like to start meeting or not at this point?
Well, that can change because we don't know where she's going.
Yes, that's right. Okay, go ahead and turn, let's see. There's light here, there's light there. So this pretty much is still in the dark. as we've been moving along, we have been moving the shadowlings in the shadows to avoid the seeker, and Julie's been moving her board around. So I know it's hard to see in the dark what's going on, but once you get into the game and play it, you'll see that it's a challenge to keep those little creatures, shadowlings, little creatures in the shadows as they're moving around to avoid the lantern, and also to hopefully get to a safe spot so they can win the game. But it looks like Julie is doing a pretty good job otherwise. So go ahead, Julie.
Okay. 1.
1. That
Okay,
means-
I'm going to go this way because I have to.
right.
1.
Now, because she rolled a 1, she gets another turn to roll.
4.
4.
Wow.
So this the whole get another turn thing can be advantageous for you.
Yes.
1, 2.
No,
Oh, I'm
right
sorry.
here.
2.
Now, which way you want to go?
3.
3.
On this
And
one.
4.
Okay, now.
Tell me.
Yeah. Now the camera, hopefully they can see over here, she did capture another creature. So, Julie gets to get the mask off. The creature goes back into its little hiding place, and I return the mask to Julie. She's got 2 of us now. So those are frozen. So now it's a challenge for Jane and I to try to unfreeze those if we can. So I think
They
that's
unfreeze them by doing the.
yeah, by actually
Yeah.
sneaking
So
over
as
there in
I'm
the
sitting
shadows.
here, there's the light reflecting on this little guy right here.
Okay, so
Well,
he's out.
Well,
Yeah.
he was in a shadow, but did he get hit?
No,
He get
you
hit
can
by-
see him right here with
Oh.
his mat. Yeah, you can
Yeah.
see that he got
So,
hit
okay, so
with
that's
the light.
a third
so that's
one.
2.
So you've
Yeah.
got 3. She got 2 in one
Yeah.
shot.
It just barely was hitting him,
Yes.
so you could see it.
Yeah,
without
it's a
mine
sliver of
even
light.
moving.
That's
Yeah.
right. That's right.
So,
Good show, Julie. Wow.
okay.
Well, bat for us, Jane, right?
Yes.
Okay, let's go.
Okay, I
Go
got
turn
it.
around.
We'll see.
Turn on the light. I'll show you.
Yeah, I know. The problem is that if
Right.
you know, then
Where's that other frozen one? Is it?
yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay, now okay,
So then we
you touch and unfreeze it.
get one back.
So we get 1 mask back, Julie.
That's rude.
That's rude. So let's turn on and put the little mask on.
Okay, so now they can't move again.
They can't move again till the next turn. Yeah, these trees are rude. Some of them are too tiny. Okay, I think
I think
we
that's
can't
it.
really move anything. All right, Julie. There's your die.
Love to
Now,
die.
see that little guy here has got moved into the pathway. And
You want me to turn
no,
around?
I'm just gonna go like that. Just move it so you can move around if you want to.
Yeah, the dice didn't look at that.
Wow.
Oh!
All right, I'm going to go this way.
Now, which way do you want to go?
That way. Towards
Okay.
me. 4.
4.
Oh my gosh, you on your
1,
fourth.
2,
3,
3,
4.
4. I'm still going this way towards
Okay.
that rock, okay?
All right.
I don't see any light touching.
Yeah, I don't see any light touching. Nope.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. Now,
You can.
No.
Mhm.
wait. Where is it over here? I forget. Oh, okay. So, shut it. Okay, so we'll take that. Okay, we're going to take another mask back from you.
Rude.
Rude. Jane, light, please.
Rude dude.
Rude dude. Now, see, as you move around this game, the strategy, you begin to see, things are located in certain areas. So, if there's a little light you can see on the camera, hopefully we put the mask back on, and
Hopefully they stay on.
hopefully they stay on and don't get caught, and we're gonna see what Julie's next move is. Ooh, scary.
Here is
Okay.
your.
Okay, here's your time. All right.
Alright, so roll 4.
Four. You
man.
like
So I'm
fours.
going to go 1, 2, and now I'm going to do this 3, 4, and I think I'm going to go this way, okay?
All right.
Okay.
Okay, now her light.
Oh, wait,
her
do
light is
anything touch it?
beaming here, and that's
Yeah,
already
but he's already
frozen.
frozen.
Okay.
He's a frozen guy. You had 3 masks, and now you have 1. Oh my goodness. Okay, I don't see any on here, Julie.
Okay.
Except for the one you already got. Right.
The one you already got. Okay, we have the lights back up, and wanted to indicate at this point that the game has been going on. Wanted to show you what actually happened here. Julie's lantern was heading this way on this path. She was actually doing quite well until we unfroze. And I wanted to show you these 2 little guys here without their masks were frozen, they could not move. However, Jane and I were able to gather as many as we could at this end. But since we were playing with 6, we had not still won the game. Neither of us had won the game, the Seeker or the Shadowlings. But this is an idea, gives you an idea of what you want to do. You want to try to gather all your Shadowlings into around one of these, one tree or one rock or whatever you can do in the shadows to win the game with their mask on. Now, because these are here and these are frozen, we would have to use at least 1 or 2 or maybe 3 of those, move them around to unfreeze these guys as Julie's lantern was moving around. So the game would go on, but at this point we're going to wrap it up.
Okay, so one thing that I noticed, first of all, when you are the creature, your focus is different, right? So
Yeah.
last time we played, I was the creature. So with the creature, my focus was to hide in the shadow, whether I go like this or whether I go like this. And as the seeker, maybe you will remember this when you were the seeker last time. You know what? I didn't focus on where the shadows was. I focused on where the light was. And so, so all this over here, so remember when you played, all this right here was in shadow.
Right.
When I played, all this was in shadow because I caught one, I catched one guy here.
Mm-hmm.
And so he has frozen, or like this guy never got him frozen. So I catch him, and now my focus is trying to, because you guys got to come and get him. So my
Yeah.
thinking was, if I stay right here,
Keep the light on him.
yeah, at some point I'm going to catch another one.
Catch
Yeah.
another one.
Because
Right.
you guys got to come get him.
Right.
So
Yeah.
that was what my focus was. I don't know if it will have paid off
Well-
in the end or not.
Well, that's
but-
an interesting thing. As the lantern, as the seeker, your focus is on light. Mm-hmm. As a shadowing, our focus is on
yeah.
Shadows.
the shadows.
Yeah,
And-
because I knew that this was in the shadow, but I didn't really care.
right.
It looks like a really easy, simple game, but it's actually pretty difficult, but fun. I mean, trying to figure out where all the light is and where the shadows and where they can move and where they can't move, and your poor little sacrificed guy that you can never save.
Now, I want to mention in the instruction manual, they do suggest a couple of different strategies to make the game even more challenging. That focuses on the positioning of your different trees, because you have open spaces where any of these can fit on those. So one strategy is put the tall ones on the outside, smaller inside to make it harder to move around. There's
And
different
some of
things you can
these
do.
guys are taller than others,
Yes.
and the little teeny ones can sneak in the shadows sometimes, whereas the tall one, the light will hit them on the top of the head and they can't go.
If
Okay.
you
Yeah.
concentrate on the middle, I don't
Yeah.
personally think that's a good strategy. Because if you concentrate your lamp right here and
Yeah.
just move here, there's so much shadow. So one thing we didn't talk about is all this stuff back here, it doesn't count for me. I can only look this
Yeah.
way.
Right,
Yeah.
right, because
And so,
your arrow is
um,
moving.
If you're in the middle,
Uh-huh.
it's too much.
That's another thing I wanted to point out that we've got to mention. Depending on the direction of the lantern, the arrow's pointing that way. If it catches a creature in front of it, it gets the mask. But if the light shines behind it, the creature's frozen, but the mask stays on it until that one has to turn around. So they might have a chance to turn around, and then wham, he gets it. But by the time the situation may change where that creature disappears. But so that creature doesn't lose its mask, but it can't move. This one in front of it does lose the mask, and the lantern collects it. So that's another little part of the rules to keep in mind. Hope you enjoyed our presentation of this new game that we just got into our collection of non-traditional games and board games. It's really exciting. We have almost, I think, what do we have now? Over 60?
Yeah, we have a lot.
60 different board games in our collection. So we invite all of you to come into the library, look at our various board games and other games we have. Pretty exciting. And check one out and try them out, just like any other time. So at this point, we appreciate you stopping by, and we'll see you next time in another episode of our game show. Thanks again. Bye.
Bye.